everyone. Welcome to our Spotlight conversation with the Center for Justice and Law. My name is Colby Wong. I'm a senior here at Hamline University. I'm majoring in creative writing with a minor in English. Today I'm going to be interviewing Vivian Mims and and some members of the cast here, as well as family of Juanell's chair. And I just want to introduce myself.
Yep, baby, that's Vivian. Hey, Angelo, Bukwon, Taylor, Julius, Thaila, and Dr. B, and Mariah.
Okay, yep, we're Davvie and Vivian.
So I just want to ask, for anyone that hasn't heard of Juanell's chair, can you tell us a little bit about it? And this
Open question.
Juanell's chair.
Riveting tale of a undergrad. I don't remember what it said on your card. I've been bringing those around.
I'll think about that description.
To universities. Do I remember what I wrote?
Yes.
Well, I do remember what I wrote. But let's frame that question up a bit. You've been involved in 5 of 3 Rondo chair, and I think 5 of the episodes. What's your impression? What are you getting at?
Well, Juanell's chair to me, first and foremost, because of who I am, I'm not very black. It's a great insight into my family's history and a lot of the background that I had never known, especially because I'm a different generation. Great nephew.
Just one.
Since we're just one, okay. Because I'm such a lower generation, these are stories that I often go untold. My age, a lot of people don't know history. A lot of people don't get privilege of knowing that whether they ever received it, but I've had to go to meetings on it. But there are still so many aspects of her life that I've never had to see. And growing up, I think a lot about history. Never quite learned that Juanell's chair is and Juanell's chair uniquely ties in the history that I have learned through my formal education with the family experiences that the news makers. So to me personally, Juanell's chair is as close to the truth as anything that I've learned can be. I've had to do lots of extensive research about Black history, like Black Wall Street, Rondo, communities that were torn up subsequently. And all of the things I've learned or seen directly tie in with Juanell's chair. There's lots of historical facts and accuracies, but there's also a personal connotation with my family's history. And I feel like because I am related to the people who are included in the story, I have a personal connection that no one else who is taking in this media has an opportunity to. But I can speak about how I've interpreted it and what this can mean for other Black students, people, and especially children in our community, especially in the greater St. Paul area. Stories like this are very important for you to know and learn about, especially when it comes to your own history, because a lot of Black history goes unseen because history books don't have it, quite frankly, they don't have the full truth. So Juanell's chair is an entertaining, emotionally provocative, but still accurate tale or retelling of Black events, especially within the St. Paul area, especially within.
Thank you.
Kind of on that level, you're already going deeper, which we're already like in it. This can go even more deeper. How does kind of Juanell's chair help us to understand more about, because it is in St. Paul, and so many real in Rondo, so many real places in Minnesota, and more. How does it help us understand kind of the place that we're in now in the modern day, and even things back 20 years ago, 30, 50, 100 years ago? How much of that history is being understood and felt, by all of us here.
Well, they're not 20 years old yet, so
Yeah. For myself, being involved with Juanell's chair has been a blessing in itself. I'm grateful that this has been brought to light on so many different levels. There's a lot of things that they are bring to perspective that is pretty much lost. There's very small information even out there in reference to the businesses that were Black owned, how the environment was, what the vibe was, what, you know, how there was commerce as opposed to just chaos, you know, which is what's portrayed mainly now in the majority of things that are considered to be informative or entertainment or news, which was heartfelt for me to be able to actually read and be a part of some of this, not only in my family, but I'm also someone who's very involved with wanting to know more about my history, about the city where I'm from, about the Rondo area, about how everything came together to what I now call St. Paul, what I have for 43 years I've been here. I've learned a lot already, and I'm eager for more.
Is there anything that really surprised you along the way of Juanell's chair? Something that really surprised you or bring it to audience, kind of like audience reaction?
There were so many surprises I can't remember all.
Any really memorable?
Well, while it was being written, I'll just say I couldn't stop writing. So, yeah, just, except for my wife, because she rightly so one at a time, you know. But I could have stayed in I call it my playpen, not my man cave. I don't have a man cave. I have a playpen. I go down there, my stuff down there. I can play. I could have stayed down there for hours, and I did, and I could not stop. So you know, that's I guess the takeaway. When you have a passion and something that's trying to come out, and I used to tell her all the time, I just have to get these stories out, and I did, to the tune of 42. And we are where we are right now. You know what I mean? So we're going to read the crime series here at Hamline University on March 7th. You know, so be there, be square.
Right here in this room.
In this room, right here.
Room
You haven't said anything.
111.
Chair has kind of given me more insight about my family and where they come from, the sacrifices they've made, the things that they've been through. You know, because when I talk to my DJ, like I don't get that. So it's really interesting to see those stories unfold and see like the work ethic, then how it kind of connects to like my work ethic now. Kind of just like people in the story and relating to them to a certain degree. And it makes me really appreciate like my elders.
Actually, how could the screenplay inspire the St. Paul community to get more involved in storytelling and literature?
So I think that the play itself, because we're using Rondo as a base, can get people more inspired because we're offering a different perspective of Rondo. Rondo, everybody knows, you know, about the history in '94 and so forth and so on. But we have a new base that we've created that's vibrant. And again, it's replicated across the country in these other cities that are getting the funds, you know, to help drive these Black communities. You know, so I think that's, and we were talking about this with you here, you know, that what we have with Rondo is different than what other people have with Rondo. You know, and that is, you know, we're telling it's a story, but we're putting a whole different face on it. It's not just, you know, the store was closed and it used to be here and all. No.
The historical basis of it is fact fiction. That's what our stories are. There's factual, but there's fiction, and it's entertaining. And I'm speaking now.
From behind the camera, I'm just going to add a brief note that I think people often ask me, because my lane is environmental justice. And they're like, well, why is this environment and this whole idea of the network? I mean, and even this narrative we often have of history is simple, especially people who've been outside of state power have incredibly sophisticated strategies for staying outside state power, for maintaining power. And so I think a piece of what, like I love, Julius, the way you described, the ability to imagine yourself into the future, especially as we face so much change, so many layered crises, that ability to bring literature and to see yourselves, to see like specific people from a specific place and the sophisticated histories they've had, and to imagine, I mean, like, imagine if James Baldwin had written our history books. Imagine if, you know, and like we still have that potential, you know, like we haven't missed a boat. And so to say we honor all of that sophisticated strategy that's been outside that mainstream history. And I just, a nugget that's really been sticking with me from the reparations conference on Friday was we had not had the oppression and the enslavement that we've had, the median wealth of everybody would be 30% larger. We've messed it up for everyone, and we have to heal that generational healing. It's such a part of what every generation that's represented is working on in this story. So thank you for sharing that with us. Thank you for having this wonderful conversation.
You got your Valentine for opening the doors once again.
Yes, yes.
We got a little Gordon Parks right here.
So, any other questions? Anybody have anything for you to add? Or Brandon, you want to?
I would like to ask you and Vivian, what would you, if there was one takeaway that you would want them to, like your audience to be able to take away after being able to see your project, like your work done, what would that one takeaway you would want them, that message you want to portray or you want to deliver to them, what would that be?
Well, for me, it would be equality, because that's what the network is about. It's not about being better. It's about giving everybody a shot. And the scenarios that we presented in the episodes back in the 50s and 60s, even though they were racist times, because they had an underground network and money to be able to maneuver, in harsh times, it leveled the playing field. I mean, with Baba and Booker and Randy and a lot of the other characters, and that's what I wanted, because growing up, Vivian and I, we didn't have that. We didn't see that. Even today, you see some of it, but you don't see enough. That's what I wanted to convey, is that we just want to have equality. So we all, and then it's all about your work. This is America, Jack. If you're not on top, then somebody else will be on top of you. And that's when you're always on the bottom. It's hard to get on top. You're always being held down. And I think we have an opportunity right now in 2024 to be beyond that. We really do. And I hope that when we are looking at the network and we're talking about it, that Uncle Sam doesn't think it's real, because I don't want him coming after anybody in this room. That is a high possibility, because it's still in people's minds. There's a lot of conspiracy theories out here. And if there's a network that is all of a sudden underground and it's real, and black people are coalescing, yeah, baby, it's like, that's why we're underground.
Right.
So I can get rid of the network and put it underground, because we had to. Because Hoover and everybody else, that's all good.
Okay, let's go to mine would be trust. Mine would be trust. Trust your fellow. Trust. For talking about the underground network, you had to trust the people. Randy had that vision because he was in that coma, and he came out and he trusted what he was told to do, what he was guided to do, and the people that he encountered, they trusted him. So the trust that we need to have as a community, as an African American community, that's what I would hope will come out of people being a part of it, and being able to view and see this movie, saga, these episodes on Netflix. You know what I'm saying?
Put it out there, sis.
Just be able to have the trust to stop saying the light skin. That's so ingrained. That's back 400 years ago.
Paper bag.
You know what I'm saying? That's been so long. But the trust, now we have this new generation that is saying, hey, look, this has got to stop. So that's what I would hope comes out of this story. That we can trust our instincts, we can trust our fellow family, we can trust our community, we can trust our family.
But
So are we good? Are we,
Yeah,
do we need any more?
Brandon, thank you. Be here on the 7th. Love you guys. Big group hug.